Good afternoon. My name is Devin White, and I serve as a National Director for Alumni Relations at Inroads. And I want to take this opportunity to thank you for joining us for this virtual celebration, celebrating the partnership between Clark Atlanta University and Inroads. I'm equally excited the fact that I'm also a proud alum of Clark Atlanta University. Today, we will be having a short program that will be taking place, which will include questions and answers. We will have first from Inroads, our National Director for Talent Management and Head of STEM Initiatives, Ms. Angela Caranja, as well as Berlanda Tate from Clark Atlanta University. And then we'll be hearing from our two esteemed leaders from Clark Atlanta University, which includes the fifth president of Clark Atlanta University, Dr. George T. French Jr., and our CEO and president of Inroads, Mr. Forrest T. Harper Jr. At the conclusion of that, we'll have a virtual MOU signing, and then we will conclude with the question and answer session. Once again, thank you for joining us this afternoon. And now we'll be hearing from Angela Caranja, our National Director for Talent Management and STEM Initiatives.
Thank you, Devin, and good afternoon, everyone. It is an honor and a pleasure to be here today, and excited to have this great momentous occasion happening today. A little bit about Inroads, for those who may not be aware. For 50 years, Inroads, a nonprofit organization born out of the civil rights movement, has prepared underrepresented youth for corporate careers through leadership development, training, and paid internships. Throughout this time, we've had the honor and the privilege to impact over 154,000 and counting diverse high school and college students with pre-employment skills, coaching, and mentoring. This has led to over 30,000 alumni in full-time professional positions that are impacting the C-suites throughout corporate America and government today. How do we do this? We partner with over 1,000 corporate and public sector partners who are in Fortune 500, Fortune 100, Fortune 50, Fortune 10 companies as well. And we also have really successful relationships with universities. Today, I am excited about this special association and partnership that we have with Clark Atlanta University. So, if you did not know, Clark Atlanta University was founded September 19, 1865. Wow, that's a long time ago, as Atlanta University. Clark Atlanta University is a private Methodist, historically Black research university located here in Atlanta, Georgia. In 1988, most recent, Atlanta University and Clark College consolidated to form what is now known as Clark Atlanta University. Also, did you know that Clark Atlanta University is the first historically Black college and university in the Southern United States, and today boasts over 3,000 students in the student enrollment. To learn more about Clark Atlanta University, visit www.cau.edu. And so today, again, we are excited to have this initiative that we have with Clark Atlanta, a great partner. And so we have partnered with them to create a corporate and community leadership training program called the Clark Atlanta University Corporate Development Initiative. I am super excited because through this initiative, our objective is to build the requisite skills and qualifications of Clark Atlanta University's first, second, and third-year students who are coming in already equipped so that they can be more competitive and successful in internships and full-time positions. We are excited about the different workshops and training events that we will have in the next 3 years. And this initiative is also a pre-internship component to the Inroads internship process and experience, where they will continue to receive a lot of coaching, mentoring, and training. At this time, allow me to introduce Ms. Berlanda Tate of Clark Atlanta University.
Thank you, Angela. Good afternoon, everyone. I bring you greetings from Clark Atlanta University. My name is Verlanda Tate. Thank you for joining us, as you have already heard, for this historic MOU signing celebration between Clark Atlanta University and Inroads Incorporated. Let me first congratulate both presidents, Dr. George T. French Jr. of Clark Atlanta University and Mr. Forrest T. Harper Jr., President and CEO of Inroads Incorporated. Clark Atlanta University is a culturally diverse, research-intensive liberal arts institution that transforms the lives of all students. We are bold and unapologetically committed to delivering education that is accessible, relevant, and transformational. That is why this partnership is so important. One, it will impact the students, and two, it includes this wonderful component Angela just spoke of called the Corporate Development Initiative. It's a game changer. It consists of a pre-internship component that includes professional and personal engagement at all levels, from college to the community to the corporate offices. Also, leadership development training, focusing on those interview skills, soft skills, people skills, all those wonderful skills that are needed in the workforce today. It's so important. As you can see, I am equally excited at this partnership and hope that students sign up and get involved. As I close, please remember that the Corporate Development Initiative, it's a game changer. All interested students, contact us today. More information will be available at the end of this program. Now, without further ado, I would like to introduce the president of Clark Atlanta University, Dr. George T. French Jr. Good afternoon, Mr. President.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Tate. So good to see you.
Thank you.
I tell you, let me take a point of personal privilege to thank you for your leadership. And I only brought with me from my last institution a handful of trusted and capable leaders of whom I can depend. And I'm grateful, Ms. Tate, that you are one of those handful of people and you are making a difference at Clark Atlanta University. And thank you for assisting to facilitate this partnership. Thank you, Mrs. Tate.
Thank you.
Good afternoon to everyone. Of course, to my friend and colleague, Mr. Forrest T. Harper Jr., the Inroads president and CEO. Good to see you again, Mr. President. To my good friend, Devin White, with Inroads and National Director for Alumni Relations, and National President of Clark Atlanta University Alumni Association. So with Inroads, I thank you, President White, for your directorship of alumni relations. And I thank you for the presidency of the CAU Alumni Association. In those dual roles, you are making a difference. Of course, to Miss Angela Karanja, Inroads National Director for Talent Management and Head of STEM Initiatives. And again, to all who are in attendance here for this, what Ms. Tate described adequately as an historic occasion. I bring you greetings on behalf of the prestigious Clark Atlanta University, and I welcome each of you today for this very important MOU, Memorandum of Understanding signing and partnership celebration as between Clark Atlanta University and Inroads Incorporated. Listen, the global workforce is becoming more and more competitive every single day. Even given the impact of COVID-19 upon the global workforce, the competitiveness has not subsided, but it's actually increased. Hence, we must equip our students with the requisite soft and hard skills that are necessary to be successfully prepared for internships and full-time positions within the workforce. That's why we are so pleased to partner with Inroads in creating the Clark Atlanta University Corporate Development Initiative. President Harper, I'm delighted about creating this partnership with Inroads, and you are and continue as Inroads to be the premier mentoring and professional development organization for students of color within our nation. Congratulations. In 1970, when your founder, Frank C. Carr, saw the need to increase ethnically diverse employees in corporate management within the nation, he knew exactly what was needed. President Carr knew exactly what was needed. I read recently that Inroads' mission is rooted in Mr. Carr's values of turning Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream of economic justice and racial equality into reality. That's his great dream. And that's what Inroads is doing. There was a time when the gap was wide and the playing field was uneven for underrepresented youth. And now we are in 2021. And although the corporate landscape is better than it was 51 years ago for persons of color, there's still so much work to be done. And we can see it in the many diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts and programs initiated by corporations and organizations across the country. Since Inroads' beginnings, Mr. President, I am proud that your record speaks for itself. You successfully prepared 154,000 diverse high school and college students with pre-employment skills. And you've placed, from that 154,000, you've placed 30,000 alumni into full-time professional positions. So we commend you for leveling the playing field for our students of color. And yes, I personally know so many people who have benefited from Inroads' mentorship and training, both, and they were well prepared for corporate and community leadership, ultimately leading them to C-suite positions. This partnership, again, the Clark Atlanta University Corporate Development Initiative, will enable us to continue our shared mission, President White, of preparing qualified and globally competitive students to take their rightful place as the next generation's leaders and change makers. Finally, as it was said a few minutes ago by Mrs. Tate, this is a game changer. So President, thank you so much again, President Harper, for this opportunity of signing this memorandum of understanding and for partnering with Clark Atlanta University for our corporate development initiative. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I have to say, Dr. French, and I will say to my good friend, Dr. French, thank you for those words, not just of wisdom, but those words of action. I say that from the standpoint of what has made Clark Atlanta University what it is today and what it will go on to be. A little quote that says, "Make a way or find a way. And if you don't know that, and you're in the audience today, or you're being touched, no matter where you are on this earth, that is the motto of Clark Atlanta University. And when we talk about getting things done and being transformative, make a way or find a way is the motto that gets you up in the morning and puts you to sleep at night, but gets you anxious to jump up the next morning to find a way to get it done. And that's all I've seen in Dr. French as he arrived in Atlanta, but it didn't start there. So I too am excited because when a leader arrives and talks about a transformative vision, he's talking about something he's already done in history. So coming from Birmingham and the surrounding Montgomery area, you've already set a platform, Dr. French.
Thank you, sir.
And not only by reputation, but by doing. And so we're excited to be a part of this. So let me give a couple of thank yous to you and a couple of thank yous to those who are involved with the call. On behalf of our national board at Inroads and our chair of the board, Baron Witherspoon, an alum and vice chair of the Tuskegee Institute, I bring you greetings that say that our national board is excited about this transformation. What makes it a transformation? Well, when affirmative action went out and we all thought, wow, how would we hold things to be accountable going forward and ensuring that access to opportunity, education, and also careers would not suffer? It was educators on the front lines like you, Dr. French, that kept it going. So before the word essential became important in 2020, I just want to say thank you to all the educators, and particularly in higher ed. Last year, you sought through a storm, the wilderness, but you did one thing that's important. You found a way, and you found a way no matter what happened. So on behalf of all of us in this nation, I want to say thank you to all the educators that roam the campuses virtually and also in person at Clark, to say thank you for being essential to keeping these students not only healthy in the mind, but healthy in their motivation to finish. You're graduating seniors this year who could have given up, but they didn't. That's because your faculty and your counselors and your supporters were essentially on the front lines. And because of that, we want to thank you. We thank you for more than what we can even show in favor, but just thank you knowing that you stayed there with them, you stayed beside them, you did not leave them. So thank you to the faculty, not only that, but to every staff member at Clark and the surrounding area and every parent to help these students throughout the year. We can't do this alone. So this valuable partnership comes with an institution that has a history of being first, and it has a history of being an only. You don't get there without hiring and having on staff and faculty some of the most prestigious professors and deans and faculty that you can find across America, not just because it's an HBCU, because it's got fine leadership. And Dr. French, I want to thank you in advance for not only saying, should we partner? Let's do it right now. It wasn't a matter of whether or not when we were going to do it, it's how fast can we do it? Because we knew that these things were together. And Clark Atlanta brings a very unique capability to the table. We know that in 2020, America suffered. They suffered not only health-wise, but they also suffered in terms of jobs, in terms of small businesses, particularly African-American and Black-owned businesses. As the data tells us by the US Bank and by also the US Black Chamber, we lost almost half of our Black businesses across the nation. But at that time, Clark was still building, getting the young minds of entrepreneurs ready to become the new generation of Black businesses. And so to that end, it made it natural for us to think about what could Inroads do in order to partner with an institution that's focused on and qualified to graduate entrepreneurs in our nation, particularly African-American entrepreneurs. And doing so, Clark just became a natural choice to do it with. Not only to be setting the path, but also setting the example. So with that in mind, we really appreciate all of those things because you've got a history, Clark Atlanta University, from those who you saw who graduated from your great campus and the walls and those institutions that you lie, but globally and also in the US. So we couldn't think of a better opportunity. Why? You set the path for entrepreneurs. You set the path for a graduate program that most people may not even be aware. It is the only HBCU that has a graduate program specifically in entrepreneurship areas that graduate. May not even know that. Not only that, your engineers are more than just things that we may think engineers may do. You engineer results. And so we know that with those opportunities, there also come challenges. We know that not just in 2020, but for the last 5 years, we've seen corporate America try to figure out how are they going to make their corporations more diverse in talent. Well, when it comes to the HBCUs, they're going to get a big payoff, but most of them may not know of all the HBCUs' capabilities. So because of the program and where we're able to join forces in our corporate development initiative, we are so excited to join forces to be in 4 separate pillars that we believe we can bring to the table. And not only that, but we believe that through our corporate development initiative, we know we can partner with your career center. Your career center to be able to enhance it so we can do career readiness for every student, particularly from sophomores and above. Not only that, we have what we call a focus around career pathways. If you can dream it, then we can help you align that pathway with the right corporation so you can experience it at this time. We also thirdly bring real world experiences through paid internships. Why do we do paid internships? We've been doing them since the early 70s. Well, there's an opportunity to earn income. There's no doubt about it. And you deserve your students to be paid for the work that they do for corporate America and beyond. So between the corporate development initiative and working with your career center, working with a career pathway for every student, and then real world paid internships, not just in corporate America, but with entrepreneurs, we wrap a bow around it with the focus on real world experience through ideation strategies and simulation strategies that we can work together on. With those 4 pillars in this corporate development initiative, we know not only will we graduate students from Clark Atlanta, not just to go get another career, but also prepare that great mind to give back to the community and give back to the community from which they come. Not only that, to focus and believe on what? To much as whom is given, much is expected. And with that in mind, we are so excited to not only partner with Clark, but partner with the faculty, partner with the parents, and partner with those students that we're going to bring through those particular areas. And today, we now know that according to McKinsey, corporate America has pledged and committed nearly $68 billion in order to focus on racial equity in America. Well, guess what? Clark has been focused on racial equity for a lifetime, and they're not done yet. And so we are too at Inroads. We're focused on racial equity, not just to get the playing field to be level, but to prosper. And so with that in mind, we're excited, not only just excited, but we're ready for action. Our focus is to start this program as soon as we can, starting in June. So this time next year, you will not only pick up the paper, but you'll read the headlines that will say, not only was this about what Inroads and Clark could do, it was about making a way or finding one. And that's what we're about today. So Dr. French, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your compassion and the compassion of the faculty, the students, and all the staff that work at Clark, along with Inroads and what we plan to bring to the table today.
Mr.
Thank
Harper,
you very much.
Mr. Harper, let me tell you, man, you need to be a spokesperson. You do well for Inroads, but man, the way you talk about Clark Atlanta University, I need to have you out there with me on that stump, okay? I really appreciate your appreciation for this exceptional university and for the fact that you're looking at the relevance of what's happening and going on in our nation. And when good people like yourself, good people like a Kathleen Richardson with Apple Corporation that sees the Atlanta University Center and says that we are going to make multi-million-dollar investments through Propel within the Atlanta University Center. When you see families like we're going to make an announcement on Saturday, a family that's giving $3 million to Clark Atlanta University for entrepreneurial and innovative development, we have individuals who realize that there was a time when everyone went to work for someone else. But this new generation is saying, like the old song, you remember Brother Harper said, mama may have and daddy may have, but God bless the child who has his own. And that's what we're focusing on as well at Clark Atlanta University, which is why we're so excited about this initiative, President Harper. And you took the words out of my mouth, and thank you for your passion, your vigor, and being one of those individuals that I like to work with. Who is that? That's the individual that doesn't want to talk about it all day. Are we going to do this? President Harper said yes, and we're going to do it now. So thank you, Mr. President. I'm ready to sign whenever you are.
Absolutely. So I've got my portfolio of signature here, and I'm going to fill that platform out on this padding. And I'm signing as we speak, Mr. President. And what you'll notice is that I sound very proudly because it's not just the signature, it's the thank you to the folks on this call that basically will be getting a lot of the work done. And I want to thank them, Mr. President, just like you have. So from the Clark Atlanta University team that put this together and the Inroads team that put this together, I want you to know we've already started. We've already started because as of today, 2 of your brilliant, talented students in about 3 weeks will be starting at PricewaterhouseCoopers as interns for this summer. And that's Miss Jamila Olson and Navia Griffin. They are already getting ready to start, and we got more to come. And I would just say that in the spirit of where we believe this will end up, somebody asked a question, hey, how many do you think you'll be able to impact? Well, we're going to start between 25 and 50 students before the fall, but we think with the support of companies like Apple and the Southern Company, we think we'll propel even more from this point. It's just a start. So we look forward to this and open up for questions and thoughts as we go forward. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President.
As you can see, it's official. It is official. It has been written. It has been documented. And I applaud you. I'm looking forward to this great partnership with Inroads and Clark Atlanta University. As you know, as we always say, we find a way to make one, and we're going to definitely make it happen here at Inroads, as well as at the Clark Atlanta University.
And what's the second one, Mr. President? Find a way to make one.
I said at the Clark Atlanta University.
The Clark Atlanta University. We find a way to make one, and we have a culture
for service. Absolutely.
See, President Harper, I follow the lead. I follow the lead of President White. Okay. Dual motto.
Right.
Very good.
And so now I want to thank all the panelists as well for joining us in this very important partnership with Clark Atlanta University and Inroads. And now if you can use the chat feature in the Q&A section, you can ask all the questions and I'll direct them to individuals who participate in the Q&A. I think we have our first question would be someone asking, what is the Corporate Development Initiative?
Okay, very good. Well, when we stepped back and we looked at the uptick in Black talent and diverse talent in corporate America, it was unacceptable. Dr. French and I thought through this about, wait a minute, every year we have so many students graduate. Why aren't these students getting into corporate America at the same pace that they're graduating? Well, the bottom line is that almost 42,000 students get paid internships a year. And of that 42,000, less than 6% are African-American or Hispanic. That's unacceptable. So why aren't we building pathways to get there? And so the CDI, the Corporate Development Initiative, is just that. It's a bona fide pathway where we bring our tools and match them up with the tools of the Career Center at Clark Atlanta University, along with a career pathways training tool that every student that comes to the Career Center will have access to, and then focus in on training and mentoring to supply a student with a mentor that comes through the program. And then last but not least, a real world paid internship so that they can experience all the teachings and the learnings that the faculty has given them. That is the CDI program. And we believe we can improve the number of intake of students applying and being accepted for internships in some of corporate America's, not just the Fortune 500, but right here in Atlanta. Right here in Atlanta. There are 55 corporate companies here that make up the Fortune 100. We're going to break the ceiling on that sucker really soon. Okay.
Right. And that's exciting. You talked about, you used the word applying. And so I know since the recent news, they heard about the two students just earning those two internships at PwC. I'm sure, Angela, they would like to know exactly, as a student, how do they apply for Inroads program?
That's a great question. And we make this very easy for them. They just need to go to inroads.org and click the apply button. It's green, you cannot miss that. And we have really improved the efficiency of the application process. So any time, day or night, it takes about 10 minutes for them to let us know who they are, what they're looking for, and what they're expecting. They can upload their resume at that time or at a later time. And then they go through a process review session that tells them about who we are, what we expect from them, and what they should expect from us, so that then, everything is laid out. And we begin our training session right away. So we have a 2-hour training session that covers in detail the breadth of what should be in a resume, that shows the skills, the potential, the abilities. And then we also do career interview preps. So the types of interviews that they will expect. Right now, there's a lot of video interviews. How should they prepare from the background to what they should wear? And then also in terms of making sure we don't have all those filler words, the the well, what happened was, so we are coaching them into that so that they are ready to interview from day one. And the last piece is that we want to make sure they're ready. So we do a mock interview with them. And again, this is either through the system that we have through Simplicity, or they can schedule one over the phone or on video. And we ask them questions that they should expect in an interview. And then we give them feedback. Well, you had too many filler words, or your introduction was a little bit short. I did not understand who you are and what you're looking for, and give them feedback so that, again, when they are ready to interview, they are camera ready and ready to showcase the skills, their potential, and their abilities. And this can take as little as a week. So from the time that they apply, 10 minutes, to the 2-hour training session that is facilitated live, and they can go back and forth and feedback. And so to the 30-minute interview session that we do with them, this is really great. And sometimes we've had them complete that session, and then next week they are interviewing with companies.
All right, you spoke about training, Angela. I'm pretty sure the students, they're wondering, who does all this training? Who provides the training? Like, I'm going to be in these leadership development sessions. Who's going to be responsible for providing this training?
Absolutely. So this is really a collaboration. So we have really expert team members here in the staff at Inroads, and we also partner with our corporate partners who come in and also lead in the training. So they are the ones who are conducting the interviews. So they talk about the culture. They talk about what does this question mean when we ask it. So it's a collaboration of our team members that are here, staff, as well as those that are in the field that are conducting those interviews and training. So and we bring in experts from the industry as well, that now that they'll be making tons of money through the internship, how do they spend that money? How do they manage that money? So it is continued leadership. Once they become an intern, it is year round. So that coaching doesn't stop. We do have, through your office, Devin, the alumni that also come in and help with mentorship. We also just signed up with Mentor Spaces. So they also have additional experts in the industries and in the areas that they're going into that provide that coaching and leadership as well. So very extensive breadth of experts in the industries and the team as well.
All right, thank you. I'm pretty sure even with COVID taking place, will this program be virtual or in person?
Yes, we are very much aware of the CDC protocols, and so are our corporate partners. So this will be virtual. We are not leaving anyone behind. And if they do have any technology issues, we are able to work with them again, whether it's through the phone or if they need to go to a Starbucks to be able to get Wi-Fi or the local McDonald's, then we're able to work with them so that this is possible. So this is virtual. And then once the world opens up a little bit more, then we will have those in-session workshops and programs as well.
All right, thank you.
Hey, Devin, I would like to say this, that we owe a big thanks to large amounts of corporate America, which when COVID hit last summer, we thought a lot of students' internships were going to get canceled. But companies stood up and we went virtual. We used a model called Simba, owned by a minority-owned firm, that we took every student virtual to do their internships. We did not stop. And we look to do the same thing, continue to transform, and knowing the commitment Dr. French and the team have on the technical transformation of Clark, we can work together on that. So there's no student should be left behind because it's a virtual paid internship.
Right.
Okay.
Excellent. Now we have one final question. Looks like it was, how can Inroads or CAU alumni get involved into the program? I guess I can answer that question right there. You may contact myself, Devin White, the National Director for Alumni Relations. You can send us at email at alumnirelations@inroads.org. That's ALUMNIRELATIONS@inroads.org. For more information, if you want to get involved as CAU alumni or alumni that are actually participating on the.
Hey, Devin, can I just give one last comment on the president? His
Absolutely.
comment about the number of students we've taken through the program. We do track alumni. And so officially we know, based on some Optum information, of that 30,000, Mr. President, 200 of those come from Clark Atlanta University. And if you're out there, shout out. I want you to tweet us. I want you to let us know you are a Clark and Inroads alum. It is the most powerful terms you can put out there anywhere. And we're going to keep searching because we know some of you may not even have recognized it, but we recognize you. Let us know. Give us a shout out. Okay, Mr. President.
All right, absolutely. I think that covered all our Q&A, and I'll ask if we can have the honor of Dr. French to give us some closing remarks, and then we'll move to Forrest T. Harper Jr. for closing remarks as well.
Thank you again, Mr. President, for this opportunity. Thank you for your facilitation, to my leadership team, again, including Ms. Tate, and to the leadership team of Inroads. Angela, thank you so much for helping to facilitate a fabulous partnership. And in so many ways, I intimated a few moments ago, my eagerness for engaging Inroads again because of my love and respect for my friend Devin White and for the energy and passion that President Harper brings to the table. And the like-minded, the ideology of leadership. And I always tell my people, you have to keep up with what's quantifiable. And when this president says, yes, 30,000 alums, but we disaggregated those data to tell us what hits home to us, which is 200 of those are Clark Atlanta University alums. Those are the type of individuals that I enjoy doing business with, and I'm going to enjoy this partnership in the best interest of all of our students. And let me say, as I close, it's not just about Clark Atlanta University. Yes, we sign on the dotted line for CAU, but I am an advocate for higher education in general, HBCUs in particular, CAU specifically, but that means I care about all of them. So if I have an opportunity through CAU to help other individuals, I don't care if you're in an HBCU or PWI, we are going to do it because that's the spirit and that's the culture that we have for service at Clark Atlanta University. President Harper.
Thank you very much, Dr. French. And thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for putting these on. I know some people spent some time last Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday to get this on because I know how you do this. So thank you, my team, and thank you to the team at Clark. I spent 30 years in corporate America with the Pfizer company, and I got 8 promotions in the first 4 years. I looked back and I looked in the mirror. And I said,
4 years? Did you say 8 in 4 years?
In 4 years.
Wow.
And I looked back and looked in the mirror and I said, thank you, Lord, for all those things you bestowed upon me. There's nothing I can do about being the first, but there's a lot I can do about being the only. And so today, we want to do something about the only. We do not want any student to go without. We do not want a student that only did not get an internship or to get a career. So my quest and my energy is born on the onlys. We don't want any onlys. We want a lot. And we want a lot every day. So I join forces with you because of that passion and knowing that we're here because of that and we're grateful. And to that, I say, thank you for allowing us to be on this journey, Dr. French, with you, making a way or finding one. Thank you.
And I see why you smile so much now, President Harper. When you said Pfizer, when you were with Pfizer and getting all those promotions, you probably got some stock options too. So I know. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Good afternoon, everyone.
Well, that concludes our program for this afternoon. I want to thank you once again for joining us for this partnership celebration. And I want you all to make sure that you enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Once again, thank you for joining us as we celebrate that virtual partnership, that partnership with Clark Atlanta University and Inroads. So enjoy the rest of your afternoon. My name is Devin White, the National Director for Alumni Relations here at Inroads, and I want to thank you